Toronto, Brian Burke was general manager of the Vancouver Canucks when they maneuvered to pick the Sedin twins, Daniel at number 2 and Henrik at number 3 in the 1999 NHL Draft. He told the Canucks prior to the 2000 to 2001 season that he gave a speech where the Sedins made their debut in the NHL and set the team rules. One rule was that rookies were seen, not heard. "So back to these two," Burke said. "I said, I don't want to hear a word from the two of you goddamn. They kept that promise for 4 years." Burke encouraged them to speak on Saturday. Burke, now president of hockey operations for the Pittsburgh Penguins and a member of the Hockey Hall of Fame selection committee, interviewed the Sedins at the PrimeTime Sports Management Conference in Toronto on Monday ahead of the Hockey Hall of Fame. The most interesting parts of the 25-minute conversation covered the early parts of their careers before winning Olympic gold for Sweden in 2006, before Henrik won the NHL scoring title and MVP award in 2009-10, and Daniel also won the NHL scoring title 2010-11. Henrik Sedin proves the Canucks are on their way to the Hall of Fame. "Did you know that the always calm and kind twins grew up next to a factory producing tanks in Örnsköldsvik, Sweden?" "Peacekeeping tanks," Daniel said with a smile. "Did you know that he has 2 older brothers, Stefan 6 years older and Peter 4 years older, who play hockey and football? It really pushed us to want to be able to play with them," Henrik said. "I think that's what drives ourselves to be good. Did you know, or do you remember, that they had a tough time in their first season in the NHL?" "Yeah, it wasn't easy," Daniel said. "Obviously high expectations, high draft picks. When they came to North America, the Sedins lacked power. What they did have though was a football background and excellent cardiovascular fitness. If they couldn't beat their opponents, they would try to outrun them. We knew that if we stayed in the offensive zone for more than 20 seconds, the other team would get tired, and we would have a chance to score, and I think that's how we survived," Henrik said. "Our fitness was better than most people. What they also had was intelligence, not to mention extraordinary chemistry as twins. The face-to-face games for which they are famous first emerged out of necessity. I think that was something we should have done early on," Daniel said. "We weren't physically strong enough to play with the big guys, and we needed to find other things we could use to our advantage. The face-to-face game was the only one." Henrik called Daniel the hero who comes face-to-face. He said Daniel would come to the locker room at halftime and devise a weird confrontation game. They would go over it with their teammates and run in the next period. "We've scored many times," Henrik said. "He gave us a lot of extra goals. It always ended with me scoring," Daniel added with a smile. The cycling games for which the Sedins are famous came later, after spending the 2004 to 2005 season in Sweden and returning to North America, older and more physically developed. "Cycling low was something we always wanted to do, but we couldn't do it early due to power issues," Daniel said. "I think it was something after the lockout, when we came back stronger we were able to do that." Burke said he thanked Canucks head coach Mark Crawford from 1998 to 2006 for helping the Sedins early in their NHL season. "The Twins did too. I think Mark saw something in us and believed us," Daniel said. "He kept pushing us and I think he taught us what it means to be professional." Henrik said Crawford taught them defense first. "Maybe we didn't produce as people expected, but I think it taught us how to win games, and that comes with defense," Henrik said. "From that moment on, we were able to start producing and become more complete players." Video, NHL stars reflect Sedin brothers' HHOF induction. Losing the 2011 Stanley Cup final to the Boston Bruins will haunt the Sedins. The Canucks finished the series with scores of 2-0 and 3-2. They won each of their first 3 home games by 1 goal, but lost their 3 away games by an aggregate score of 17-3. Finally, they lost 4-0 in Game 7 at home. "I wish we had done something away that could push us to win one of the away games," said Daniel. Henrik said the Canucks should finish the series in Game 6. "Not even getting a chance to play a game on the road, I think is what hurts us," Henrik said. "It's a bad luck to get into Game 7. You fly there after the game. You come home. You see all the fans walking on the street, they just expect you to win. I won't say it's an advantage to play in Game 7, especially in the Canadian market. Henrik said they would each trade their scoring title for a championship. But here they are, 23 years after they were drafted together, inducted into the Hockey Hall of Fame together. In Canucks history, Henrik is first in games, assists and points and seventh in goals. Daniel is first in goals and second in games, assists and points. This is really special, Burke said. It's something to be an identical twin for any player inducted into the Hockey Hall of Fame. Wow! Incredible!